Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how I make a flip over wig with a side part.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest.
Okay, so first things first, this is the wig cap that I got from the beauty supply store. I've tried a couple, but this so far is my favorite one. Now you want to measure your head. Because I've made so many flip over wigs, I'm just going to measure a wig that I've already made to get my measurements instead of having to measure my head. But if you do have to measure on your head, I suggest taking your leave out first around that perimeter and then doing your measurements just so you can ensure it fits perfectly. We want this wig to fit like if we wanted to sew it on our heads, it fits, or if you wanted to clip it on, we just want it to be absolutely perfect. So now that I have my measurements, my wig cap is a little too wide for my head. So we're just going to take up about an inch on by each seam. And I'm going to pin that down. And then we're just going to sew the wig cap so that it, is the same measurements as our head. And please, guys, this does not have to be perfect because we're going to sew tracks right on top of this. But please make sure you sew the right part of the wig. I have put my wig cap on my mannequin head before upside down, not upside down, like inside out, and sewn it where you can see this on the inside. You want to do this to where when you lay the tracks over the top, you won't be able to see this from the inside, if that makes any sense. So now I'm just going to take my first track. My tracks are doubled. And I'm just going to start sewing this how you would any normal sewing or wig. We're going to start, the first piece is just going to go from inseam to inseam right along the nape of the neck. And we're going to gradually work our way up. The magic of the flip over wig is not really until you get all the way to that front part. Now guys, I am flipping over my tracks, so I try to cut as little as possible. So we're only going to cut up that last bundle that's going to go at the top. But all of our other bundles, we're going to use the flip over method, and we're just simply going to fold it, pin it, and sew it, and we're going to repeat that process all the way up until the top. So guys, when I get to the end of a row, I like to just put a single knot, basically like an anchor, before I go ahead and flip the track over to start that next row. And I find that this just, helps keep everything in place because we want this wig to be as secure as possible. Okay guys, so we are done with that first bundle. Look at how flat she is. A lot of people think that if you do the flip over method that the wig will be bulky, but that is just simply not true. She's still super flat, and if we ever want to take this apart, we can, and the tracks will be together. So now we're just going to start on the second bundle, and I went ahead and sewed that first row, but instead of flipping over, we're going to bring her around the front and make a C. And as you can see, I put a line here to where I want my part to, like the illusion of my part to be. Now doing this is key if you want a side part flip over wig. If you want a simple regular flip over wig, then you just will keep going with those tracks, you know, back and forth all the way to the front. However, if you want a still like a heavy side part like I do, I recommend doing this way and sewing it around the front so that it falls in the front of your face. And again, I drew on my mannequin where I want my part to be, and I'm going to sew the tracks like maybe about a half an inch away from that line. So now that I've sewn to that point, we're going to fold the track over now and do our flip over method, and it should look something like this. Okay, so now that we're done with the second bundle, we're going to use our last bundle to fill in the top. And this is the bundle that we'll be cutting. So I kind of curved the track to fill in that little point that was left. We just kind of rounded it out. Because basically we want to make a box so that we can go back to putting the track straight across the front. Okay, so as you guys see, I curved it around the front again on this side, and again I'm going to sew until about half an inch towards that line where I want my part. And this is just again so it can fall straight towards your face and not all go back. Now, unlike the other side, we're going to knot this. I knotted it about 3 times, but we're going to make our first cut. Okay, so now guys, we're just going to place this track straight across the back, but we're going to curve the sides because we want to keep making that U shape that we've created. Okay guys, so now that we've created that U, mind you, I cut the track when I finished making that U. We're going to take the rest of the hair and we're going to sew it from side to side. And what this is going to do is it's going to put a lot of the hair weight on the side because like I said, we are making a side part instead of just making them all the hair go to the back. And after each of these pieces, we're going to cut. So I'm showing you right here that we're just going to go straight over to the side and just kind of fill in this gap. So now I'm right here on my last piece of the second side. And as you can see, it's left us with this little box. And I'm just going to kind of make like a little U. Now, if you wanted a U-part wig, this is where you would stop. You would sew this part and then you would cut the middle out. But since we're making a flip over wig, we're going to fill that little space in. So I see a lot of flip over wigs where they just have the 2 tracks come together and meet. But in my opinion, I don't like that little line where the tracks meet because I feel like you can see that. So the reason I do it like this is because these pieces that are about to go across, they're going to completely hide all of the tracks. No track lines will be showing. Y'all gonna see. Just trust the process. And I promise you, you're probably gonna feel crazy cutting a million of these little pieces, but it is so worth it. You want these pieces to be so close that they are touching each other. So like you want them to lay right on top of each other. And guys, if I didn't say this before, for these little pieces, the tracks are not doubled. So this is just one single track. For every other spot on the wig, I had the tracks doubled, but for this one part, we're just going to use single tracks and we're going to stack them up as close as possible to each other. So as you can see, we're almost to the front, but do you guys see how you can't see those side tracks anymore? How it's completely covering it? Yes, undetectable. That's what we want. We do not want to see any of these tracks. So now we're down to the last little piece, and I'm just sewing this through the very front of the cap. And as you can see, it lines up to where I wanted my part to be. But don't worry, we're going to hide the front of this track as well. So I didn't record it, but if you can see, I took the last track and I sewed it under the wig. So before I sewed my clips on, I sewed it under the wig, and so that piece folds over the top of the wig. So as you can see, this is that last track that you saw me sew. And like I said, I sewed the track under the wig. This is the secret to no track showing. So when you flip that piece over, boom, you literally cannot see anything at the top of this wig. Like, it's completely undetectable. So this is how the wig looked right after I finished sewing it together. And this is her after I styled her. If you guys want to see how I achieved this color, make sure to go look at my last video. But I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you next time.